everyone signing on for the Virgo Rising Astrology for the month of August 2024. Virgo Rising, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for viewing my content. And it's important because it's all part of you, astrology enthusiasts such as yourself, that view my content here on Cosmic Girl 101 YouTube channel. It's growing. So I am saying thank you. Thank you for tuning in, liking, sharing, and subscribing and viewing. Virgo Rising, your ruling planet is Mercury. So whatever Mercury is doing, whatever house it is transiting through, when it's retrograding, when it's going forward, it's going to be important because Mercury is the Lord of your chart. It rules your first house, which is all about the self. Your qualities are yin, mutable, and earth as a Virgo Rising sign. We'll first discuss the slower planetary transits and where they're situated and what houses and signs they are for you as a Virgo Rising. Pluto is continuing its retrograde in the sign of Aquarius. Now, this is the sixth house of the daily grind, and on the 1st of September, retrogrades back into Capricorn, your fifth house of joy and pleasure. Neptune's retrograding in the sign of Pisces, your seventh house of partnerships, and goes direct on December 7. Uranus is in the sign of Taurus, your ninth house of expansion, and retrogrades on the 1st of September. Saturn is retrograde in the sign of Pisces, your seventh house of relationships, and goes direct on November 15. And finally, planet Jupiter is transiting in the sign of Gemini, your 10th house of work and public image, and goes retrograde in the month of October. The sun for the first 3 weeks of the month is transiting in your 12th house, being Leo. When you have the sun transiting in your 12th, we're talking about illumination and energy going towards things that are intimate to you, behind the scenes, things that are chronic and have been developing over long periods of time. So when you have that sun in the 12th, I wonder for you, Virgo Rising, if it's hard to keep a lid on what has been going on with you, and it being exposed, or at least having a bit of a push into the public space when you've got that sun in the 12th house. On the 7th of August, the sun sextiles Jupiter in Gemini, your 10th house of career and public image. Virgo Rising, I wonder if there is potential for exposure of aspects that you've been working on behind the scenes or intimately experiencing, having its moment in the spotlight or affecting the career house. On the 18th of August, the sun conjuncts retrograde Mercury, your ruling planet in the 12th house. The sun retrograde conjunct your ruling planet, the sun conjuncting retrograde Mercury, your ruling planet in that 12th house of behind the scenes in the past, will potentially reveal some very important information that you may have missed or not been aware of on this day. The 19th of August, we see the sun square Uranus in Taurus, and this is your ninth house of expansion. The ninth house has a lot to do with publishing and media, international and foreign connections and subjects. Can also have a lot to do with traveling. Also legalities, your spiritual and philosophical aspects of life as well. This house is all about expansion and connections with people on a larger scale. So that sun in the 12th squaring Uranus can be a sudden change of fortune connected to the ninth house topics that throw you off or make you feel more anchored or trapped in something that you have been dealing with behind the scenes for a little while now. On the 22nd of August until the 22nd of September, the sun is going to be transiting in Virgo, your first house. Life force returns and you are more online. You might be turning the computer back on, your emails are activated now, you're answering more texts or messages. It almost feels like you are available to people than you have been for a little while with that sun transiting in the 12th house. So now you feel the potential to connect more, be more aware of what works or doesn't work in regards to your physical body, You could be ready to engage with more physical activity, or possibly just getting down to the details that you have been dropping the ball on. It's a great transit when the sun is transiting the first house of the self. On the 4th of August, there's a new moon in the sign of Leo, the 12th house. Virgo rising, you may be ready to begin to take action on ends. You're ready to tie up loose ends. You're ready to begin something that's very important to you. And this is the moment where the cosmic gods, if you will, say, yes, you are ready to eliminate and now purge and release something that has been chronic. So a fantastic lunation to begin to end. On the 19th, there's a full moon in Aquarius. And for you, this is that 6th house of the daily grind, where we put a lot of effort in our day-to-day routines, our health, working, dealing with co-workers, services you provide to other people. This is the house where energy goes out to others and you're invested in it. So on the 19th, that full moon in Aquarius could have you feeling restricted and wanting to break free, create more autonomy for yourself in things that are habitual, connected to the 6th house topics of the daily grind. And especially if you have any health issues, this could be the moment where you turn things around. Venus, let's talk about Venus, the planet of relationships, the planet of harmony, the planet of unity. Venus is very social and likes connecting, which has been transiting in Leo, your 12th house, Virgo rising, and on the 2nd of August, she squares up with Uranus in your 9th house of expansion. There could be a curveball coming from outside of yourself that really disrupts what you're trying to deal with behind the scenes and not make public. So this could be a difficult day connected to relationships, finances, or agreements on the 2nd of August that you may have wanted to keep a lid on. On the 4th of August, she leaves the sign of Leo, your 12th house, and ingresses into Virgo, your 1st house. Venus is in full in your sign as a Virgo rising. What does that mean? It simply means that Venus is not on her game in regards to putting up with disruption, being undervalued, and will be very analytical and very critical and harsh when it comes to throwing the baby out with bathwater with significant relationships and her sense of harmony when she's transiting in Virgo, your 1st house. It's a quick transit. When Venus is transiting in your sign, your 1st house, take advantage of seeing what really works and what doesn't, connected to you and others as a whole. Make sure you are investing in you. You're important. I get that we are all trying to create harmony, but this may be the transit that's going to help you put more time and effort into the self. This is not a bad thing. On the 22nd of August, Venus squares Mars in the sign of Gemini. For you as a Libra rising, this is the 10th house. The 10th house is very public. It's like the top of your chart. And this is where you go out and you become someone or do something important in the public arena. This is where you want to put a stamp on it. So when you have Venus squaring Mars here, there could be conflict or trouble in paradise with your work or professional life that's impacting your physical body or your psychology. It's a difficult day to navigate on the 22nd of August. On the 27th, Venus trines Uranus in Taurus, your 9th house. So we opened up the month with Venus squaring up to Uranus, and now in your 1st house is trining Uranus into the 9th. There could be a quick turnaround. A bump in the road has been sorted or addressed quickly that's connected to a significant relationship or financial dynamic connected with you and people on a larger scale. On the 28th, we see Venus oppose retrograde Neptune in Pisces, your seventh house of relationships, partnerships, agreements, and contracts. Seventh house is also the house of pleasure. When you have Venus in your first house opposing retrograde Neptune, I wonder if you have sharp awareness that there is a potential attachment or connection that is holding you back, that is possibly weighing on you, and you may be ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater on this day, quite simply because you cannot be held back by a significant relationship agreement or a contract. The 29th, we see Venus now leaving your first house and going into the second house, into the sign of her domicile being Libra. Venus transiting in your second house of finance and assets is beneficial for understanding that you can support yourself. You can create new skills. You can create niche skills that support your resources and support the self that feels more in balance and more in flow. You have an understanding of your values connected to assets, and you may be very aware of significant relationships that benefit your assets and finances or drain them when you have Venus transiting your second house. The day on the 29th, Venus trines retrograde Pluto in Aquarius, your sixth house of work and daily grind. Virgo rising, I wonder if you're ready to take some time off from work or what you do in regards to services and your career, and lean more on the finances you already have and take more time to enjoy the fruits of your labor on the 29th of August. Venus journeying through your second house as a Virgo rising is fantastic for building wealth and getting on top of any nuances connected to your money. Mercury, your ruling planet, Virgo rising, has been transiting in your first house, and on the 5th of August, retrogrades. This is fantastic for going back over nuances, anything to do with health issues with the body, going back to the gym, having conversations, looking at different options with contracts that are significant to you. This is a fantastic transit when Mercury is retrograding in your first house of the self. You're very adept at making decisions, readjusting, recalibrating, and getting things just so that benefit you. On the 7th of August, Mercury retrograde conjuncts that fallen Venus in your first house. This could potentially be the day where you throw the baby out with bathwater in regards to relationships or a financial agreement. Interesting day on the 7th. The 14th of August, we see a Mercury retrograde back into Leo, the 12th house for you. If you feel that you need to change something up that you thought was dead in the water, this is the transit that's going to help you eliminate blockages. Awesome transit when Mercury goes back into the sign of Leo to help you boldly sever and eliminate or deal with things that have been chronic. On the 24th of August, your ruling planet Mercury retrograde sextiles Mars in Gemini, that 10th house of career. You could be taking a step back from your career or reevaluating, connecting with important people that help your career, or adjust any financial nuances in regards to your professional life. On the 28th of August, Mercury now goes direct in Leo. I assume for you as a Virgo rising that conversations have been had. You've gone over some very important issues connected to the past or things that have been behind the scenes and not privy to other people. And you feel more certain and confident moving forward now in how your character, your body, your thoughts, your ideas, your values are important. And now you feel you can take action and be a little lighter in your step moving forward when Mercury turns around and goes direct to that 12th house. Now onto personal planet Mars. Well, Mars, this is the planet about action, initiation, conflict, drive, Mars is a very passionate planet. It just goes for it. Mars in Gemini in your 10th house in a direct motion for the whole month of August is benefiting you in eliminating blockages connected to your career. You may have some bumps in the road with conflicts or agitation, could possibly even have accidents at work when Mars is transiting in that 10th house. But what is really good about Mars in Gemini? Well, we're talking about direct speech, sharp intellect, quickening, pace is lifting, working more, being very aware that what you do for your work and career is significant to you, and you may be very gung ho and aggressive in regards to people that you connect with publicly. On the 14th of August, Mars conjuncts Jupiter. This is the day that I put you on notice to watch out for overkill with intel or gossip, or possibly looking at potential pitfalls in your work arena or employment place of work. There could be accidents or something exacerbating going on that can disrupt you or throw you off, or conversations can be extremely explosive on the 14th of August. If you've been putting a lid on it, this could be the day where you blow your stack. Interesting day on the 14th of August. Cosmic Girl 101 signing off. Thank you for tuning in, Virgo Rising, to your monthly astrology. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.